Who's ready for another unhinged client story? Let's name this girl Kelsey. Thank you, Kelsey, from the last video for letting me use your name for this one. So Kelsey ends up booking a bestie experience that we offer, which is like, it's not something that we necessarily advertise, but it's kind of like a couple session, but it being like a bestie session. So when someone books a bestie session, we ask them for their best friend's first, last name, and email so we can get their confirmation. They can fill out their version of the contract and questionnaire, and we can get all that information. So it's like, it's kind of hard to do it like as a surprise to anyone, just because we do need their consent and them to sign, all their stuff. So I sent it. So let's just name the other girl, her bestie, Ashley. So Kelsey pays for the full experience. So Ashley doesn't pay anything. She just signs her contract and whatever the case may be. So, when time comes for her session, their session, we expect 2 people, right? Apparently, I was wrong. The morning of her session, this is where, I begin to get like kind of concerned at something going on. So the beginning of her session, or the day of her session, she shows up. And so to get into the building, and it like has instructions when you book your shoot and stuff like that, to get into the building, you have to, there's like a little call box at our front door, and you have to call my cell phone, which then I let you in. So when she called me, mind you, she was 10 minutes late, but that's not important. So when I answer the phone, I say photography by Liz Michelle, and I expect her to say, hey, this is Kelsey and Ashley, or this is Kelsey, whatever, I'm here for my appointment, tell me why. She says, okay, hi, it's Kelsey, we are all here. Okay. Now, it didn't tip me off fully, because I don't know, sometimes I just think, okay, maybe they were nervous and they didn't really know what to say, like, we're all here, maybe the 2 of us, I don't know, whatever the case may be. I was slightly confused, but I was like, okay, whatever, it's Kelsey, so I will let her up. So of course I let her up, and I say, okay, Kelsey, no problem, I'm gonna let you up, take the elevator, blah, 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 like all that stuff. You guys, when I say it was like a clown car just unloading into my studio, I don't even know how to describe how many people somehow fit in that elevator. For those of you who know, my studio elevator is tiny. It barely fits 2 people. Like, it is a very tiny elevator. She brings 6 girls with her. 6. That's including her, so 5 girls, but there were 6 people that unloaded into my space. Now, granted, I'm not the only like business in the building. Well, actually, technically right now I am, because anyway, point being, at this time, I was not the only person in the building. There's 2 other floors above me, so my head kind of went to, oh, I wonder if these other people are clients of the other like businesses and they just think they're on the right floor or whatever. So I said, oh, sorry guys, like, this is Boudoir Studio. And like, I was kind of like addressing like the group, and just wanted, I almost was like, that was my way of saying it, like, who's Kelsey and who's Ashley? So Kelsey comes forward and she goes, yeah, no, we know. Again, I was so confused. I was like, okay, so yeah, sorry, there's like so many other people here, so I just wanted to make sure they're on the right floor and stuff. And she like turns around and she goes, they're with me. I'm sorry. What? Keep in mind, this girl did not say anything about details about really, like, I mean, I knew that she said for her, in her questionnaire, she said, like, it asked like why you wanted to do the shoot. She said just for me and my bestie to like have something, do something fun, or what. That's like, she said something like really basic like that. It wasn't like a big long explanation of like why she was doing the shoot. So this was a shock, because she comes in with these people and she goes, no, these are my bridesmaids, like, for my wedding. Ma'am, you haven't told me anything about a wedding. What? And she's like, we're all here for like the photo shoot, like the bestie shoot. And I'm like, the bestie shoot with Ashley, not with all these other people. So of course I'm like kind of sitting there not really entirely sure how to conduct myself in a professional manner and be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Obviously, if I have your best friend sign a contract, and if you wanted more people, they would also need to sign contracts. They're like here illegally right now. Not illegally, but like, it's not cool. So I basically was like, okay, which one is Ashley? And she steps forward. She's like, hi, I'm Ashley. I'm like, okay, Ashley, you have a shoot today with Kelsey. You 2 have a shoot today. Everyone else is not available. Like, we do not have availability for a shoot, because you guys did not, I was not aware you were coming, and no one else signed a contract, filled out a questionnaire, paid, for their session. So all 4 of you do need to leave. Everyone started kind of like looking around at each other and being like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like, and so one girl, let's call her Judith. Judith looks at Kelsey and goes, I thought you said this was taken care of. Like, I thought you said that we were all, like, I thought this was like a group thing, whatever. And Kelsey said, it is. I paid $1,600 for this bestie experience and y'all are my besties. So therefore we have this experience. And she looks back at me and she goes, right? And I'm like, ew. And I said, wrong. So let me explain it one more time because you don't seem to be understanding. Whoever did not sign a contract with me is not supposed to be here. So then the whole group is like, wait, what? Like, we took off work for this, blah, 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 like all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, let me explain, Kelsey, one more time. So I literally had to like pull her aside and be like, they need to leave. They are not welcome here. Not that they're not ever welcome here. If they want to book their own shoot, they are more than welcome to, but they are not officially booked. I knew nothing about this. And she again doubled down and was like, this is a bestie experience. These are my besties. And I'm like, what are you not understanding? So I told Kelsey, I said, okay, we normally don't even take groups. Like, we only do a bestie session or like a couple session. And like the occasional, like, you know, sometimes we do get like the occasional like throuple that wants to do a shoot. That's very occasional. We will do that, but there's a lot of planning that goes into that, especially for 6 girls. To do 6 girls, hair and makeup, that would take us hours. It would be almost impossible for us to even begin at 8:30. We would have to begin at like 6 to be able to get to the shooting time where the light is good. So like, regardless, that's just like one section of the problem. So I figured I was getting nowhere with Kelsey for whatever reason. So I laid out her options. I said, okay, Kelsey, option number 1, those 4 girls leave, you and Ashley do your bestie shoot and we move on like normal. Option number 2, you rebook, you pay the same day cancellation fee, $2,000, you rebook with all 6 of you, and that would be an additional blank, blank, blank. And I was being really nice because I could have easily said, like, the money that you've already paid for your session will not be applicable to a new session. But I told her, I was like, I will gladly put that money that you paid towards the 6-person session, but we need to make adjustments for 6 people. So I told her, those are your 2 options, pick one. She was so pissed. She's like, you expect me to pay $2,000 for what? Like, for what? I'm like, because you took a whole day of work from us if you choose this option, because that means you would be rescheduling and leaving. So you actually took this date from someone else who could have like experienced this amazing life-changing experience. So you took that from them. So yes, you will owe the minimum purchase fee, which is $2,000. And she's like, well, that's ridiculous and I'm not paying that. I'm like, okay, so you and Ashley can stay here, send your other 4 girls off and to do whatever, and you will meet them afterward. She then gets like up in my face and is like, they are all my best friends. What are you not understanding about that? I started seeing red. There's a point, I'm sure some of you can relate to this. There's a point, like, I have very little patience. It's just not a trait of mine, right? There is a point where I'm no longer Alyssa and I just see red and I am just like devil Alyssa, like devil Alyssa comes out. Like, so I was fucking livid and I was like, bitch, you better get out of my face. I don't even remember, to be clear and honest, how mean I was. I don't remember because I was like not myself, but I do remember kind of being back in her face and being like, Kelsey, you need to back up right now and you need to leave my studio because I will not be spoken to in that tone and in that way, especially when I'm trying to accommodate you for your fuck up. That's basically what I said. She was like, she stepped down really fast. She was like, whoa, like, I didn't expect you to like clap back, bitch. Like, so she was like, okay, well, I guess we'll leave. And I'm like, great, I will charge the card on file for you and we can get you rescheduled. I charged her card on file. It did go through, thank God. And there was no bank issue. Like, she didn't try to, you know, whatever. Anyway, she just like kind of let it happen. I think I really scared her shitless. She let it happen. And then when it came time for me to send a message for her to reschedule, you know, I messaged her and I said, I can't bring myself to reschedule you. And I said, honestly, I don't feel comfortable working with you at this point. So we're just going to cut our ties here. I'm not working with any of you. And you're banned from my studio. She responds back and says, well, we weren't going to reschedule anyway because you are rude. I'm like, okay, have fun. Have a great life. I think I said something of like, have the day you deserve or something like that. And I was like, don't ever fucking contact me again. And she hasn't so far. So far, so good.